Hello, hello, and welcome to the weekly wrap only on KENS 5 Plus. I'm your host, Audrey Castoreno. We want to get you to some of the biggest stories of the week so you can stay in the know. At number 5, lawmakers are calling for increased security after what police described as an assassination in Minnesota. The suspect accused of shooting 2 lawmakers and their spouses, 57-year-old Vance Butler, is facing a number of charges, including murder. He's accused of shooting and killing Minnesota State Representative Melissa Hortman and her husband in their home. Police say he also shot State Senator John Hoffman and his wife. And inside his SUV, police found a notebook with a list of names that included other lawmakers. Officials revealed Butler drove a black SUV with emergency lights turned on and with a license plate that read police on the night that he carried out those alleged attacks. He is due back in court on June 27th. At number 4, tributes are pouring in for Food Network star Anne Burrell. The beloved chef died Tuesday at her home in Brooklyn. She was just 55 years old. Burrell is best known as the host for Food Network's cooking competition, Worst Cooks in America, a show she hosted for more than a decade. She also made appearances with other big names like Rachel Ray, Bobby Flay, and Robert Irvine.
For all the rough exterior that we all have, she was a great human being here.
Irvine says her death is a loss to many. Details of her death specifically have not been released. Living in Texas, good barbecue is not hard to find, but if you want the best barbecue, it's only about a 40-minute drive away from San Antonio. A local joint was recently named the best barbecue joint in the state by Texas Monthly. Earl Stonemeyer traveled all the way to Seguin for this week's Neighborhood Eats.
All right, let's go, let's open up.
From the brisket to the ribs to the sausage. We're really interested in that.
Oh my gosh, nothing's ever gonna live up to this. This has now ruined all barbecue for me.
All the prep and all the smoke time, got to keep the fire just right. These guys really have it dialed in.
The name Burnt Bean Co. really speaks for itself because take a look at this line. It literally goes around the corner for some good food that's Michelin approved. Burnt Bean Co. started as a competitive barbecue team in 2007 in New Braunfels. Head chef Ernesto Cervantes says they quickly became a Seguin staple restaurant, opening in 2020.
I've been cooking since I was 16 years old, so this is all I know.
Everyone gets up bright and early, waiting for a taste.
We actually got on the road, I want to say like 5:45 in the morning to get here around 8:15.
We've had people from Australia, Guam, all of Europe, Japan, Thailand.
The flavor is next level, always prepped a day in advance.
The brisket is amazing, and so is the ribs.
Oh! Just like magic, guys. They were right. Everyone who told me it falls off the bone, you just saw it firsthand on TV. Cheers to the sauce, my guys. And it's good. And the sides? All right, baked beans. Let's go. A first-class ticket to the #1 barbecue spot in the state. This is so good. Making everything with pride and love.
Consistent good food every day, and that's what we strive for here is consistency.
Come on out here, get some food, downtown Seguin. You might wait a little bit in the line, but trust me, this food right here, worth it all the way. But go ahead. Come on, come hungry. Come one, come all. But go ahead, turn it back to the studio.
I am hungry now. Thanks, Earl. The weekly wrap is back after this.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia. Generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
A broken vehicle fixed after 5 months of no help.
KENS 5 made it 100% better.
A busted windshield fixed after getting the runaround from a contractor.
And you guys did it. Y'all were amazing.
A much-needed tax refund this man couldn't access. Yep, fixed.
KENS 5 actually helped me out quite a lot, actually.
Have a consumer problem you can't solve? Call KENS. Weekdays at 6 on KENS 5.
Got a problem, call KENS. They will solve the problem.
My name is Sue Kalberg, and I am a journalist for KENS 5 for 22 years. I think it's been an awesome privilege to be able to work in the town that I grew up in. My uncle, Rex Stanley, was the very, 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 very first guy hired at KENS 5. From the beginning, I said, you can get paid for that? Let me in. It fills my heart to be a part of the KENS family, because the KENS family is the San Antonio family. I am San Antonio's own Sue Kalberg.
We want to get you breaking news right now.
Here, let me show you the police activity. New insight into a deadly police shooting.
We just got an update from fire officials. We'll continue to keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage, live or on demand, right here on KENS 5+.
Welcome back. At number 3, a court case that captured the nation. Karen Reed has been cleared of murder and manslaughter in the death of her police officer boyfriend. This was a retrial of her high-profile case. Wednesday, the jury did, though, find her guilty of a lesser charge of drunk driving. The verdict comes nearly a year after a separate jury deadlocked over whether she killed John O'Keefe in 2022. She was accused of hitting him with her SUV during a blizzard, then leaving him to die in the snow. Reed's lawyers argue she was framed by police after dropping O'Keefe off at a party at a home of a fellow officer. Reed was met with support following the verdict, while others denounced the public response.
No one has fought harder for justice for John O'Keefe than I have.
But you respect the jury's decision. It's what it is. You just move on.
The judge sentenced Reed to 1 year of probation. She also faces a civil trial in a wrongful death lawsuit brought by John O'Keefe's family. At number 2, after last week's deadly flooding and more rounds of storms, many of you are questioning about staying safe while driving through floodwaters. So we want to give you some guidance on what to do if you're ever in that situation. So if you can't safely turn around, the National Weather Service says to move your vehicle to a shoulder or median if you can. Then turn your hazard lights on to alert other drivers and call 911 to report your location and situation. If the water is rising and you can't get out of your vehicle, it's best to stay inside and wait for rescuers.
If you do see cars going through the water and they're making it through, that you can verify the depth of the water is fairly shallow, maybe moving ahead might be right for you, but it does depend on your vehicle.
As for potential flooding help, TxDOT told us early next year a contract will be awarded to begin improvements on the pump stations in that area of I-35 near downtown. Hunting and shooting are big in Texas. Barry Davis takes us to the National Shooting Complex and this week's Texas Outdoors.
Pull. And missed them both.
Pull. With more than 300 BBs in each shell, you'd think one would hit the clay.
You want to shoot that bottom one first,
all right,
and then move up to that second one.
All right.
Nice and easy. You know,
it's easy.
It's easy. It can be.
How long did you shoot competitively?
25 years, 20 years.
Easy for him.
That's what the National Shooting Complex is all about. Roughly 700 acres with 45 skeet fields, 47 trap fields, 5 sporting clay courses, and lots of room for more.
Open days are open to the public. A lot of people come out, from first timers to hunters to people from all over the state.
It gives those of us who like to shoot not only a place to practice, but an opportunity at a sport that includes something we love.
Sporting clays, this golf with a shotgun.
In golf, you only have one ball. I have 300 plus BBs. Surely it can't be that hard.
We've got some flying in the sky, some rolling on the ground.
It's tougher than it looks. It does help, though, when you have a professional competitive shooter giving you tips.
Pull.
Look at that.
All right.
The one rolling on the ground.
Pull.
Simulating a rabbit.
Pull.
Gave me the most trouble.
Pull.
There you go.
I did. I thought I concentrated. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
Like most things, the more you shoot, the better you get. And eventually, you hit more than you miss.
Pull.
There you go.
Nice.
Good one to finish on.
That's the way to finish.
And dead center, too.
right?
It's also a great way to stay in shooting shape and get ready for hunting season.
Barry's pretty good at them. May need to try it out. Stick with us. We're going to be right back.
Go ahead. Take a look at the faces of San Antonio Zone. When you look into their eyes, you see passion, you see hard work, you see familia, generations of people who embody a rich culture of respect, honor, and originality. We're all in San Antonio, but more importantly, San Antonio is in us. It's what makes us special. It's why we're proud to be San Antonio's own.
Talked to this police officer, and she told me to call Ken 5.
Every week, KENS 5 is looking out for San Antonio's own.
The next day after you left, they sent a professional AC guy, and my AC's working now.
If you've been wronged by someone,
it was shocking. Clearly something went wrong.
Or a business,
I couldn't believe it was happening.
Just call KENS. Weekdays at 6, only on KENS 5.
I got my vehicle back. I'm rolling again, so call KENS 5 to help you if you need help too.
Born and raised on the northwest side of San Antonio, Texas. Generations of my family have been from this part of Texas. I have Fiesta roots, I have Spurs roots, I have Texas Fighter roots. Played basketball at Clark. Basketball was a huge part of my life for 16 years. My comfort dish, a plate of chilaquiles with salsa verde. I grew up watching KENS 5. I am who I am because of this beautiful city. I hope that they can find a sense of pride knowing that their creation is helping deliver them the most important news of the day. I'm Alicia Nieves, and I'm proud to be from this beautiful city.
If you want a meal that will make you say,
so good!
That is fantastic. Catch Neighborhood Eats, where we find the best local restaurants. Streaming now on KENS 5 Plus.
Welcome back to the Weekly Wrap. Finding out you have a deadly disease can be traumatizing and a daunting experience. But KENS 5's Jeremy Baker tells us how a good support system and the right information about your illness can really help save your life.
Diagnosed on October 9th of 2024.
That's when Daniel White got the shocking news he had lung cancer.
I've never smoked a day in my life.
White says he's always been on the go, always helping others, but lung cancer has taken away much of his strength.
One of the hardest things I've ever had to do is ask for help. It's not who I am, and I don't... Sorry.
Just before starting chemo, White was contacted by Massive Bio for a clinical trial using 2 immunotherapy drugs. The one he has been given is called Keytruda. He says it has given him more time with his family.
Everything shrank down almost a little more than 50% at this point. That's because of the immunotherapeutic drug.
Daniel's doing really well. We've now had another CT scan that shows some continued evidence of response. And so we're happy to see that, especially given the amount of cancer that we had seen on his lungs.
The CDC says lung cancer is the 3rd most common cancer in the United States. More people in the United States die from lung cancer than any other type of cancer. And more men both contract the disease and die from it as well than women. White is doing everything he can to avoid letting lung cancer win the battle. He says having a support system, starting with his wife, is a must.
We've been married 27 years this year, and we have 4 beautiful children.
He tells us support from his doctor as well as the clinical trial have been lifesavers.
Anything I need, I can pick up the phone.
I think it's really important to say thank you to the patients who do make the choice to go onto a clinical trial because they help everybody.
White urges anyone who thinks they might have a serious medical problem to get checked out and get informed.
You're not alone, but make sure you get involved.
To hear more of White's cancer journey and for more information about clinical trials with Texas Oncology, head to KENS5.com. We've provided a link. Jeremy Baker, KENS 5.
Some really great information there. All right, and at number 1 in our countdown, the conflict between Israel and Iran continues as President Trump calls for Iran's unconditional surrender, something that country's leader has rejected. Israel's military says it struck around 20 targets in Tehran. President Trump is weighing whether the U.S. should join Israel's strike on Iranian nuclear sites. So far, Trump's administration officials have said America is not involved in Israel's attacks, though the U.S. has been helping Israel fend off Iranian counterstrikes. Iran's supreme leader has vowed to show no mercy. All right, thanks for joining us for this week's episode of the Weekly Wrap, only on KENS 5 Plus. We'll see you next week with all your top 5 stories. See you then. Bye, guys.